You placed into conference. To line, press *6. To unmute, press #6.
To unmute your line, press *6 or #6. To mute your line, press *6 or #6.
Good one. We get started here. A couple of notes right up front. During this cast, if you have questions or comments, please put in the Q&A window or the chat window and watch those throughout the presentation, and we'll try to hit all the questions, comments towards the end. And with that, let's get started. So, I'd like to welcome you all to the Contractor Journey webcast series on managing subs better for project managers. And today we're talking about project management. So, the slide I'm showing you right now is the Contractor Journey. And down the middle of the slide, where it says build profits, project by project, business development, bidding, pre-construction, construction, and post. When we think of the last three, pre-construction, construction, and post, contract journey, we realized that everything was just kind of piled into pre-construction as part of the business processes that lead to the success of the project. So those out, and underneath each of these 6 phases of the contractor journey, there's a whole slew of business processes defined. One of them is project management under construction. Each business processes cover the basics of that process, best practices, tips, things to watch out for, and solutions for it. We have a website, the Contractor Journey, that lays all this out. You can see it on the right. Enough of that. Let's move on. This cast series is put on by Sage Construction Group in Bend, Oregon, and we're looking at project management today. My name is Phil Bride, executive coach and business consultant specializing in business processes and getting companies to really up the game and work like a crack company, just really sharp. And along with me, we've also got Ko, who is an expert in solutions from Construction Group. Say hello.
Hi, everyone.
And that will jump into it. So the plan today is I'll go through the business practices, the business process of project management, best practices, and all that good stuff. And at the end, Kohu will talk about solutions for that for project management from the Sage Construction Group. So let's get into it. I came across a really interesting comparison of typical versus best performing projects, and it's from CFMA, the group at Maine, and in particular, this was put together by a guy named Blaise Reardon, who's a lean expert in civil engineer, and he has three primary areas that are key that define best performing projects. The first one is safety during construction. The goal is 34% of companies have some kind of accident, even fatalities in projects, but the best ones, the best performing companies don't have that, and up to 63%. So on commitment to project goals, you can see the comparison, 16 to 63. Complete some of these guys complete the commitment to the same project goals time after time, and then quality of final building. And you can see the breakdown here. Best performing projects significantly outperform the typical projects in these key areas, which comes to the project management is performing extremely well. So problem areas that project managers really run into is this list. It's kind of a longer list, but these are problems, and project managers have to be able to tackle these and prepared for them. These generally should not be seen as surprises when they go south on you, because it happens so often. Permits, inspection, the better performance and reliability issues, interference by kind of unforeseen conditions. Prices go up on materials, some sub doesn't show up, all kinds of things. Crew cramming is kind of a big issue, trying to get crammed in at the last minute and spread thin between multiple jobs even. Final design docs and submittal approval, and of course scope creep, the lack of doing change orders properly, and inadequate bids, just you missed on the bid or the estimate, leads to profit fade and a profit margin being too small. Very typical throughout the whole project throughout projects, and time again. That's why project management is crucial that they step up their game. So interesting, because project management is going through a major shift the last few years from the old school way of thinking about it. Get it done, quit standing around, let's just jump in there and do it. I don't have time for the paperwork, let's get it done. New school, what's happening today with the paperwork is crucial, and we have to have measurements and metrics, and we have to just up our game and run this like a business. So it's going to cover the 7 responsibilities of a construction project manager, PMI's definition of project management. If you're not familiar with PMI, it's Project Management Institute. It's project management issues across all kinds of industries, including construction. And so the CMA definition, which is Construction Management Association of it. And it makes construction project management different than others. And role and responsibilities measuring project managers' success, the KPIs, type of certifications. Then we'll drop into, after we get through all the best practices and just what it's really all about of running a project manager in today's world. We'll drop to solutions from, say, construction group. Okay. There are 7 categories of project management. 7 categories of project management, and you can think of project managers as basically the CEO of the job or the general manager of the job, a particular job, and even of all the jobs that they might be managing. And more responsibility and accountability than most. It really takes a driven individual to step into the full-blown role and accept all the various roles around it and all the aspects of it. Construction Management Association of America, CMAA, notes that project managers' responsibilities fall into these 7 categories you can see on the right. Project planning, cost management, time management, quality, contracts, safety, and team management. So it's actually pretty broad. A lot is involved in it. And in order to really pull this off, projects really have to be exceptionally good at leadership skills around people, all the different personality types and quirks that people have, the skill levels, all that stuff, the processes, the various processes involved in it, and of course, plan and execution. Get those plans nailed down and then execute to those plans. Of course, everybody wants. Let's move to the next. So what is project management anyway? So there's a couple of definitions, one from CMAA, Construction Management Association. And it really explains that a successful construction project manager has to apply effective management techniques to the planning, design, construction. You can read it here. For the controlling time, cost, and quality. Okay, makes sense. From PMI, Project Management Institute, and PMBOK sounds kind of like a weird acronym, but it's Project Management Body of Knowledge. Anyway, the art of directing and coordinating human and material resources throughout the project. Good definitions, but that's all they are, is just definitions. Kind of a good background to have. So what for project managers in the construction industry? Well, construction projects require large amounts of material, physical tools, labor, and it just involves a more diverse set of stakeholders than typical business projects. People coming and going, there's owners that are coming. All the job sites are different. There's so many more variables that you have to deal with as a project manager than, let's say, a project manager in manufacturing or another area, development. We're in a contained environment. Of course, when you're out on a job site, all kinds of things happen. Least is the weather. And then having various subs coming and going all the time and dealing with traffic and all that good stuff. And then there's local and state laws and of course, public projects that require on-site inspections, permitting. And when you have local and state laws and rules and regs, they can vary from one job site to the next, even in close proximity if they cross city, county boundaries. State compliance, material handling compliance, all that good stuff. And usage and payment rules So here in Oregon, there's some new labor laws that are coming into effect around the use of apprentices. A certain number of apprentices have to be on each job being trained, and that's for public projects in particular. And those rules are coming into play. So it can get complicated, which requires somebody who can really be able to handle this wide variety of things and not be surprised and get frustrated all the time. Managers really have a laundry list of responsibilities. And this is, you can see this. It starts with leadership skills. Leadership skills is really crucial to this whole thing, making it work well. The guy talking a couple of days ago, he said, look, I'm always surprised and kind of happy with people. And the reason is because people in situations, because I kind of expect things to have problems. And so when it goes right, I'm happy, as opposed to people who expect things to work well all the time, and when they go south, they're frustrated all the time. So I thought that was an interesting comment, because that just smacks of being a good project manager. Because you have leadership skills and handle the life cycle of the project, the processes, integration, scope creep, which affects the schedule and time, all the and of course costs constantly want to creep up. And labor resources, just all the subs coming and going on projects, getting them to show up, the right people, communication risks, safety claims, all that stuff. Environmental impact. So this comes from in particular, the project management body of knowledge. And it's very specific and yet it's very broad. So of course there's lots of roles that go with these responsibilities. And it's really, like I said before, it's really a leadership role. And leadership often means wearing lots of hats and all the accountability, kind of the buck stops here, accountability for project managers. The construction project manager is they've got to be an excellent organizer and really organizer to keep the projects on track and productive. And projects are completed according to specs and on schedule, all that stuff, through closeout. Also have to be a documents and approval manager and manage that whole document flow and process. Of course, job costs are a big part of it, so they have to understand the basics of WIP and over-under billing and managing the job costing piece, the variances, and a risk manager, because risks are all over the place. So manage the risk and issues, because those pop up constantly. Can't be surprised by them because they're just part of the game. And a people manager, people have to be able to work with people, have to be able to get the best out of people across a wide range of skill levels and abilities. And then, on top of that, become a tech guru. Technology can help project managers access all the critical information, and it can reduce the risk for a project manager. It's well understood and well defined, and of course they have to share all this as well. Sounds like a lot, and it really is, but it doesn't mean it's got to be overwhelming. It just means somebody is highly flexible and adaptable to handle a wide variety of things of the day. It can be very exciting if you have the mentality to be in constant problem-solving mode and working with a wide variety of variables, things happening at once. So this is an interesting perspective here, and that is how you measure the success of a project manager. Well, you use KPIs. KPIs, if you're not familiar with it, stands for Key Performance Indicators, and key meaning it's a vital aspect to the success of the project. Performance is just, measuring the performance of it. Indicator drawing attention to the condition. So like sports, stats in sports. So stats for a project manager on how well they're doing it throughout a project. So to get the basic information and structures or processes in place per project so you can measure all this stuff. So you've got to collect the information first in order to measure it and set up these KPIs. So contract terms become project goals, and they're the baseline for any project. And project goals in turn to schedules and milestones, cost estimates, budgets, ROI expectations, and then you start tracking the actuals, the costs, all that stuff, and you have a variance and can start putting together some metrics. So these are key to get a project estimate and budget in place for revenue, cost, and profit. And you can see in here we've got 10 KPIs: percent complete, task completed on time ratio, resource utilization, revenue to date, which is a WIP metric, work in progress metric, actual to cost estimate, estimated cost to date rather, and missed milestones to date happens. Expected ROI, change orders are a biggie. Very big deal, especially when you suffer from profit fade. Managing the change orders is a big deal. So just the number of change orders that happen, and that tied closely to expected ROI, in other words, the profit, and then cost variances to date and owner complaint count, which is tied to the punch list. A couple more that May points out, and they say, okay, all that stuff is good, the KPIs, that looks backwards and says, how well did that project work? Let's look forward and go, what are some good forward-looking KPIs? Well, there's things like pending bids around bid development. This development meeting scheduled and completed, what's the prospect funnel? The bought process, percent of work bought out, quality control, what are surprises, what are the complaints, what's the punch list look like, inventory, are there subs pre-qualified and a good list with grading and metrics in place, and then of course safety, rate, experience modifier rate, stuff like that. So, project manager, start in the office, lots of multitasking, communicating through presenting and problem solving, doc management, go to job site next, checking the work in progress, approvals, deadlines, schedules, bringing these people together, solving problems, checking in with subs, vendors, suppliers, accounting, owners all the time. Keeping time and time again that project managers and accountants don't spend enough time together. That is a big deal, especially when it comes to change orders, complaints for insurance and bonds, and ensure everything is in place for the subs. I came across this, which is 7 top capabilities of project management tools. And I'm going to spend too much time on this, but this comes from Inc. magazine. Jeff Hayden, good writer. I like him. I'm a fan, by the way. And having a project management tool that's scalable task management, role-based, flexible planning, milestones to track progress, chat for collaboration so you can get off email and test and have something that has a record you can double check and it's shared. And then the access to file and docs and the rest here. It's a good for starting to think about what your criteria are for tools. Certifications, then I'll go through this real quick and then pass it off to Kohu. So certifications, things like getting a certified construction manager, becoming a certified construction manager or a certified project manager, And lots of places to go to get this. Construction Management Association, Project Management Institute, CA, Construction Financial Management Association also has certifications. Of course, your local colleges and universities have stuff. More and more people are starting to get these certifications in place because the paperwork and the processes are crucial, especially in today's litigious and rule-bound environment. So with that, I'd like to pass it over to Ko'ohu from Construction Group, and he will talk a bit about some of the solutions to help project managers take manage their day and their projects better. Ko'ohu, it's all yours.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ko'ohu. I'm the sales engineer from Sage Construction and Real Estate. And like Phil said, I'm going to be presenting some solutions that we currently offer to help you kind of get through that project management lifecycle and make things more efficiently and easily for you as a business. So my first slide here is kind of painting the overall picture of different solutions we have from your current core accounting package. One Contractor or 300 CRE. So you can see around different solutions we have, Sage Paperless, My Assistant, but there's also any and all the types of options out there. But we'll be focusing around much of these solutions we have for management-specific tasks. So the one that we'll be kind of taking a look at is our Sage Construction Project Center. This is one of our more popular tools that's used to collaborate with not only users in your company, but also users outside of your company. Contractors, vendors, architects, all contacts that need constant and a more efficient way to manage the project. Everything from your drawings, subcontracts, submittals, punch lists, all of the necessary information that you need as a user to collaboratively work with others on the project. Now, above and beyond that as well is moving towards a more paperless solution. You're looking for a central location of all types of documents, so that's not just invoices, purchase orders, or subcontracts, but also maybe site photos, drawings, our information and forms. Paperless is integrated back to your accounting solution, allowing you to easily retrieve, store, and find information later on to reference later. Now, it also has a core invoice routing and approval that can be used throughout the project management lifecycle, as like I said, easily finding documents and easily stored within paperless. Next, we have Sage My Assistant. This is also another popular solution that automates alerts and emails reports directly to users based upon the criteria and filters you specify within the solution. We're looking for specific bank account balances every single week, or reports on expiring insurance, or other types of information that you're looking specific to the job. When a certain cost code hits a certain estimated time or cost, you can send My Assistant to send you a report so you get that information automatically or on a regular basis throughout the week or month. We also have My Communicator, which is an Outlook add-in for 300 CRE that sends automated notifications and alerts set by you're specifically using Outlook components. That way, emails can be easily sent to your field employees to notify them of any types of changes on the project or information, fingertips easily from Outlook. Actually, we have our Excel-based reporting office connector. This integrates directly back to your 300 CRE accounting solution and one of our more powerful reporting solutions because it kind of a common solution, which is Excel. Everyone around the world in one way, shape, or form knows how to use Excel to some extent. Now, by using that common interest or common knowledge, Office Connector allows you to integrate back to your accounting database and pull information in a more familiar Excel-based way. That way, if you have users who are already familiar with Excel back in the office, they can then use Office Connector to pull information out of accounting for Excel-based reporting. They feed into reporting off your KPIs possibly delivering those KPIs to the necessary key people to make business decisions for your project. And with that, I'll hand it back on over to Phil. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, well, thanks, Kohu. So if you have questions, please put them in the Q&A or chat window, and we'll try to address them. Thank you very much for coming to today's presentation on project management. It was basically a very short overview and introduction too. But everything changing so quickly, this is imperative that people kind of move from the old school way of doing things, of just kind of going by the seat of your pants, to really well organized and starting to implement some of the things that are being expected both by regulation and bigger owners and bonding companies, by the way. So my name is Phil Bride. I'm a business consultant and executive coach, and I help companies get their act together so they can grow to the next level on business processes and leadership skills and managerial skills, stuff like that. And then Ko, who you just heard from, also is a Sage expert on some of the solutions. If any of you would like to see a more detailed actual demo of any of the products that Ko talked about, please give him a call or drop a message to CREsales@sage.com, or you can drop a message to me and I'll get you connected also. If you'd like to talk about business processes, Phil@philbride.com, and I can help you get going. And with that, I'd like to thank you all for coming. I don't see any questions or comments coming through at this point. So, Ko, have any specific demos coming up that you'd like to let people know that they could attend, by the way?
Great question. Let me take a look here real quick at the schedule. Looks like today, right after this, for our 300 CRE users, we have our Sage Mobile Reports and Dashboards webinar coming up at the top of the hour. As well as tomorrow, we are having a Office Connector Excel-based reporting as well at about 12:30 Pacific Standard Time. Like more information on signing up for those webinars, definitely contact the CREsales@sage.com and we'll get you that information. Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, in fact, maybe for those that want to hang out for a minute, maybe we can grab the registration links and slip them in here real quick, and then we can get those to people as well. Okay, we'll hang out here for a couple minutes, see if anything else comes up, and otherwise, thank you very much for attending. Really appreciate you taking your time out of your busy days. Okay, well, I think we'll call that a wrap then. Maybe we'll drop those links into a follow-up email to people after.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye now.